Communication, It's More Than Just Talking, presented by Dr. Raymond Shockey, Director of the Life Source Center. Funding provided by a grant from the Town Fair Tire Foundation.
Hello, my name is Dr. Ray Shockey, and today's topic is going to be communication. It's more than just talking. People who are in communication think it's just, I just talk and that's it. But a lot more goes into it than that. And today we're going to talk about 8 steps that one could take to make communication more mutually satisfying and resolving any issues that may come up when communicating. So first thing, realize that it's natural to be in a defensive mode. Think about the old fight-flight response. When something is introduced, when you're communicating with someone and something's introduced that's different than what you understand to be truth, what you understand to be your reality, there's a natural tendency to be defensive. And again, it goes back to that old fight-flight response. During the old days, if you felt that you were going to be attacked, if you felt that something was going to make you feel very uncomfortable, was going to be a danger, you'd either fight or you'd flee. Well, today you can't do that. You have to come up with some happy medium. So realize, first of all, it's natural to be defensive. It's natural to have that feeling. So instead of overreacting, shooting from the hip, pause, wait, gather your thoughts. Be aware that you have this tendency to react and think about pausing. Okay, that's one thing you can do. Another thing is to be open and honest about yourself in the moment. Resist playing the victim or being accusatory or bringing up the past. Be truthful about yourself and what you're experiencing at that moment. Sometimes when we get up in our defensive mode, we forget about what's really going on inside us. So be truthful about how you're feeling. Be open and honest and not defensive or resistant. Okay? 3, be aware of the past is only relevant if it changes the future. A lot of times people lament about the past and they think, oh boy, I made this mistake. Or they accuse the other person of making a mistake. Bringing up the past is only relevant as a learning experience. If you made a mistake, don't, wallow in past errors. Don't lament about that, but treat it as a learning experience. What needs to be changed so that you behave differently in the present, okay? 4, be still and actively listen to the other person. Resist the temptation to interrupt or negate what the other person's feelings or what the other person is conveying as thoughts. Truly listening and understanding and empathizing with what's coming forth from the other person. Doesn't mean that you have to agree with the other person. You may think, my position is very different. But in order to discuss it, you really need to listen to what that other person is saying and feeling. Over 70% of communication is not nonverbal. So be aware of what's going on in the here and now, what that person is conveying, and listening to the whole person, okay? And that means being still and not being tempted to think your own thoughts and interrupting. You know what the answer is, or you know the truth. What is truth? Truth is probably a mixture of what's going on between the two of you, okay? 5, stick with only the issue at hand. Now the temptation always is you bring up unresolved issues that go nowhere from the past. Resolve one issue at a time. If you're talking about a particular issue, say you're talking about issue A, and the other person brings up, well, I have a problem with issue B, or this is going on with C or D. That all may be very relevant, but not in the here and now. You need to deal with one issue at a time. Deal with that particular issue, resolve that issue, and then go on to the next one. Because if you don't do that and you get caught up in other issues, nothing gets resolved. Okay? Finally, be open to compromise. When there's a difference between the two of you, be aware not to get into a power struggle where there's a winner and there's a loser. Okay? Find a truth that is going on between the two of you. You may be tempted to negate what the other person is saying, but the other person may be talking about something that's appropriate and something you never even thought of before. So be aware of that and negotiate a resolution that the both of you get something out of. That's important. Be careful not to be focused on winning and the other person losing. Be focusing on resolution. Okay? So those are only 6 things that I brought up. There are many ways that you can enhance your communication, but I want you to begin thinking about those 6 things. Again, 1, realize that it's natural to be in a defensive mode. 2, it's to be open and honest about yourself in the moment in time. 3, the past is only relevant if it changes the present. And 4, be still and actively listen to what the other person is saying. 5, stick with the issue at hand. Stick up one issue at a time. And then finally, be open to compromise. And hopefully that will bring you to the next step of effectively communicating. Thank you.
A special thank you to the Town Fair Tire Foundation for making the production of Communication It's More Than Just Talking possible. Presented by Dr. Raymond Shockey. Services can be obtained by contacting the LifeSource Center at lifesourcecenter.org. Video production that includes editing and voiceover by J. Scott Voices at jscottvoices.com.